Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and at whatever time you are listening to today's episode of More Than Just Task Management, your favorite daily podcast that helps you build a thriving business. With me, Anna Angelova, a founder of Leficomp and a business coach and consultant. And usually, this podcast is together with Jores Fan, Levicomp's co-founder and a co-host of this podcast, of course, and a business consultant. However, he's not available today, so you will enjoy only my voice and my face if you're watching this video on YouTube. And the conversation we have today will be all about sales. Yesterday, we talked about marketing, and specifically, we discussed the difference between social media marketing and digital marketing. And today, kind of naturally, we're moving towards sales. And sales is the other core pillar that we're focusing on this week, that we're discussing this week. And when it comes to sales, specifically for today, we wanted to discuss client acquisition. And I know that this is a topic that whether you're a small business owner, medium-sized business, even corporations, like everyone is interested in client acquisition. And to start a conversation, yesterday we actually touched upon this. And one thing that we're thinking, oh, if we have visibility, we'll have clients. Yesterday I mentioned that we're not playing the same game as small businesses, medium-sized businesses. We're not playing the same game as the big corporations. And visibility is not the same as acquisition. Ultimately, visibility, you can have tens, if not hundreds of thousands of followers and still be struggling to pay the bills. And a lot of businesses are in probably not the hundreds of thousands, but they have thousands of followers or even thousands of people in their email list, yet they're struggling to pay the bills. So while visibility is important, right? While it's important for you to be out there and have marketing and even have brand awareness as you build your business, client acquisition is actually about having a conversion system. It's a clear path that people take from not even knowing who you are, and not people, like not everyone, right? Like your ideal clients take from not knowing who you are to actually knowing, liking, and trusting you and starting to take action that moves them closer and closer to ultimately sales, to ultimately becoming a customer or client. And every time, like we work with overwhelmed owners, right? And the owners we work with, like, they're great at their trade, right? They do their work so amazingly, but they've never been trained on how to actually run a business. And they hustle, hustle, hustle. But the thing is that systems outperform hustle every single time. And that's why when we talk about client acquisition, it's all about having a conversion system, a repeatable path, a repeatable process. And to start discussing this, actually, one of the things I wanted to mention today, and as a business coach as well, right, as a certified IPEC coach, one key thing in the whole process, and specifically when we talk about sales, is mindset. And there's one shift I want to help you make today. So listen carefully. And actually, if you want to take some notes, now is the time to take some notes as well as you're listening to this episode. But the biggest thing is that for everyone I talk with, and again, a lot of us, when we think about sales, we think about those sleazy sales tactics. We think about being forced to buy when we don't want to buy. So the key mindset shift is that sales, it's not about forcing people to buy. It's not even about asking them to buy. It's actually offering a real solution to a real problem. And it's actually, when you think about it, ideally, you offer a transformational solution to a real problem someone has. So why shouldn't you be out there and selling? Why shouldn't you be out there and having this wonderful, whether it's a service or a product that can transform someone's life, we are doing a disservice to people by not being out there and selling, by not being out there and putting our message in front of our ideal clients. And one thing, in addition, to help you shift this idea from the, oh, sales is like yucky, to, okay, sales is not about forcing, it's not even about asking. Sales is about offering a solution to a real problem, is what Darren Hardy mentioned in his entrepreneur roller coaster book. This was the book that I read. I think I got it from the library. I read it back in 2018, probably. And this is how I started following Darren Hardy and all he does. And what he mentions in the book is replacing the word sell with the word help. Because again, ultimately we help people. And it all actually starts, when you think about it, it actually starts with you believing in the value that you deliver. Because if your product or service sucks, if you actually don't deliver on the promise that you have, then don't sell your thing. Go and fix your service and product first and then sell it. But I'm sure that you are actually someone who has a great service, you have a great product, and you're one of those best kept secrets, right? So believe in your value. This is where great selling starts. When you believe in what you deliver, when you believe in your value. And again, we've mentioned this before as well, that when you approach things with hesitation, like your energy, people feel your energy, whether it's your team or prospects, they feel your energy. And when you are hesitant, when you are worried, people feel this. The same applies to when you are confident, when you know that I have a solution, I have something that will help you. People feel this. People feel this. And when you have that conviction, when you have that passion about what you offer and how it transforms people's lives, this is where you shift by shifting your energy, you shift the entire conversation and conversions improve. So remember, sales is not manipulation. It's not forcing or asking someone. It's about helping people to take action on something they already want, right? On something that they already need. And of course, as I was saying in the beginning, when we talk about client acquisition, it's about having a process and an offer that is repeatable and that works consistently without you spending 60, 80 hours a week overworking yourself. And speaking of without you overworking yourself, there are a few things that you want to stop doing if you really want to have clients who are your ideal clients, right? Customers who are your ideal customers. So first and foremost, stop posting just to be active. Stop posting just for the algorithm and prioritize relevance and relevant activities versus frequency. Because you can post once a week, but with something relevant and really, really good and get the results. And again, yesterday, if you didn't listen to the episode yesterday when we were discussing difference between social media marketing and digital marketing, we touched upon this, that ultimately our metric is return on investment in terms of the sales, in terms of what's the revenue and the profit we're making. So first, stop posting just to stay active. Stop posting just because someone says, oh, you should be posting every day. No, quality is better than quantity. You can be out there once a week and still get the results that you want, because it's not about engagement. It's not about followers. It's about buyers. So stop posting. Promise me this. The second thing that a lot of business owners and the ones that we work with as well, a lot of business owners make this mistake, is they speak to everyone. with generic messages and say, oh, but everyone can benefit from our services, right? Everyone needs teeth cleaning, or everyone needs this. When you speak to everyone, you attract no one in a way, or you attract low committed leads and prospects. And the solution here, of course, is to really hone in on your ideal buyer, who they are. And this is one thing we do when we work with our clients. This is one of the things, like, we really clarify who is the ideal buyer, what are their problems, what are their desires, and really get into their head and their heart and start talking to these things so they know that, oh, this is me. And this applies as well when you ask your network for recommendations or introductions or things like this. Like, you when you say, oh, I work with everyone, it's like, okay. Phew. But when you say, oh, you know how teenagers, when they wear braces, they feel very conscious and they struggle with this and they don't want to fix their teeth, and this, has consequences throughout the age as they grow up. If things are not fixed on time, well, with my dental services, I help I've helped teenagers feel awesome while they're wearing their braces, with the way that, the special braces we do and things that we offer, right? For example. Mm. So really honing on your message. Who are you working with? And this way, when you share a message like this, even with your cousin, let's say, and then your cousin uh, knows a teenager or a parent of a teenager who is having problem with their teeth, right? So they can actually refer you better by you being really specific who you work with. So the second thing to stop doing is speaking to everyone and really focus on your ideal clients. And a third one is creating content, especially for socials, without call to action. If you're not guiding people toward the next step and toward getting into your universe and towards getting to whether it's a sales conversation or just a sale, right? It's pointless. It's pointless. And again, we're playing a different game. So have a call to action. Have a call to action, and knowing which step, like, it's really important knowing the content you're creating, whether it's for a cold audience, whether it's for a warm audience, or a really, really hot audience, because the call to action will be different, right? The way you talk will be different to these people, because when you talk with someone who is in your active client, right? You wouldn't send them a message saying, oh, this is who we are, this is what we do. They already work with you. You just send them a note saying, we are introducing a new product or a new service. Do you want to try it? But if you are talking to a cold prospect, someone who has the problem, yeah, this person is my ideal buyer, they have the problem, you not tell them, oh, we just introduced this, come buy it. You take them, because this is a huge step, and most of them will not take this step because they don't know you, they don't like, well, they might not like you yet, like, right, and they might not trust you yet. So it's really, really important, first of all, to add call to action, and the second thing is to have it being relevant to who you're talking to the stage of the relationship you have with the people who are reading this message, listening to this message. And as we discussed yesterday, stop chasing vanity metrics. Number of followers has nothing to do with your bank account. And ultimately, when it comes to business, revenue and profits matter. And when we are talking about client acquisition specifically, of course, what you want to measure is the leads, like leads who are coming in. Like they say, the whole funnel or customer journey, like we want to call it. We love some words better than others, right? So it's important to measure leads. It's important to measure conversion. And it's important to measure the client lifetime value, which is actually something we talk about tomorrow. We will be discussing the CLV. So join us tomorrow as well if you're curious about this very, very key metric, actually. And ultimately, when you think about your small serious buyers, your ideal clients, right? They are looking for clarity, confidence, and direction, and this is what you want to give them. And one last thing for today, before I wrap up this solo episode, is that when it comes to sales, marketing done right, in a way, makes sales obsolete. Like you almost don't need sales. You don't need to even advise people. They already want to buy. So your marketing, your messaging, and your energy, they work together. So it makes the client acquisition process, the sales, easy and smooth. Clear positioning that speaks to your ideal client, as I was saying, right? Who are they? What do they struggle with? What are their desires? And where are they, right? So you can get in front of them. Messaging that speaks to the problem and outlines the transformation, what they get at the end. Forget about the features. Yes, it's okay to list features as well a little bit, because here is the thing. If you think about a laptop, a techie dude nerd will actually be interested in the features. So for this techie nerd, ultimately, you want to put the features there. You want to talk about the CPU. You want to talk about all the different capabilities and features that the laptop has. But for a grandmother who wants to connect with her grandchildren, it's great for video calls. So really knowing your audience, highlight outcomes, but features are important for some audiences, like in some cases when we talk about some products, right? And of course, again, showing up with the energy that really highlights that you believe in the transformation, that this is really a product or service that makes a difference. And if you are our regular listener, thank you for being with us. Like, we really appreciate you tuning in and day out and listening to these episodes. And you know that this is what we do, right? And with the Thrive 360 business solutions that we have, we actually help business owners like you gain real clarity and stop working 60 to 80 hours and really start running a business. Like, stop being the doer and start running a business, a thriving business that can scale. And it all starts with Thrive 360 Business Clarity Accelerator, which is a 2-day intensive where we sit down with you and we understand where you are, what's working and what's not working with for your business, and of course map out a roadmap for you so you can move forward with clarity and without overwhelm. And if your sales and client acquisition system is not working, maybe the accelerator is for you. I will put a link in there in the notes, in the show notes, if you want to check it out. And we would love to actually see you apply for this. And I'm saying apply because we do open only 4 spots a month, because this is really a personalized experience where we help every single client we work with. It's specifically for your business. No cookie cutter solutions and things like this. It's exactly personalized for you, and that's why we have up to 4 spots available every month, and we are now taking applications for June. So I'll add the link and go check it out, apply, and we look forward to seeing you on the other side, actually. And remember, tomorrow we're talking about customer lifetime value. So tune in as we continue this conversation in a way, from marketing to sales to KPIs and metrics. And this is it for today. Thank you for tuning in. And Jores and I will be back tomorrow with another insightful episode of More Than Just Task Management.